Namaskar, good evening. You are watching Rajya Sabha television. I'm Smriti Rastogi with News Tonight. Let's begin the bulletin with the top headlines. BIMSTEC summit starts in Kathmandu. Prime Minister Narendra Modi underscores need to improve road links, trade and digital connectivity among member countries. Two-day conference to focus on peace and prosperity in the Bay of Bengal region. Supreme Court reserves a verdict on petition seeking examination of 2006 verdict on reservations in promotions for scheduled caste and the scheduled tribe employees. In a separate case, court says SC/ST category individuals in one state can't claim reservation benefits in government jobs in another state. India likely to surpass Britain next year to become fifth largest economy, says Finance Minister Arun Jaitley. India's GDP currently stands at $2.59 trillion compared to the UK's $2.62 trillion. Demonetization speeded up India's march towards a formalized economy and higher growth, says Finance Minister Arun Jaitley. Asserts that tax collections increased 25%, transforming India from a tax non-compliant society into a compliant society. Congress President Rahul Gandhi rejects the argument. And in the Asian Games in Jakarta, gold medals for Jinson Johnson in 1500 meters event and the women's 4x400 meters relay team. Men's 4x400 team bagged silver. Seema Punia and PU Chitra take bronze in discus and 1500 meters. On day 12, India surpassed 2014 Games haul of 57 medals with 11 golds. Overall medal tally now stands at 59 medals with 13 golds, 21 silver and 25 bronze medals. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has appealed to the BIMSTEC member nations to ensure regional peace and security for the development of the region. Speaking at the inaugural session of the 4th BIMSTEC summit in Kathmandu, Prime Minister Modi also urged the nations to unite to combat terrorism, cross-border crime and drugs.
Prime Minister Modi made a strong pitch for enhanced regional connectivity at the 4th BIMSTEC summit in Kathmandu on Thursday. Addressing the inaugural session of the summit, Prime Minister Modi said that there was an opportunity to enhance connectivity in trade, economy, transport, digital and people-to-people engagement.
मैं मानता हूं कि सबसे बड़ा अवसर है कनेक्टिविटी का, ट्रेड कनेक्टिविटी, इकोनॉमिक कनेक्टिविटी, ट्रांसपोर्ट कनेक्टिविटी, डिजिटल कनेक्टिविटी और पीपल टू पीपल कनेक्टिविटी। सभी आयामों पर हमें काम करना होगा।
Prime Minister Modi also praised the BIMSTEC multinational military exercise in India next month. Army chiefs of BIMSTEC nations are slated to meet next year to hold talks.
क्षेत्रीय इंटीग्रेशन तथा आर्थिक प्रगति और समुद्र के लिए हमारे इन साझा प्रयासों की सफलता के लिए यह आवश्यक है कि हमारे क्षेत्र में शांति और सुरक्षा का वातावरण हो।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that India is committed to working with BIMSTEC member states in critical sectors and to combat terrorism and drug trafficking. He also announced scholarships to students, researchers and professionals from the BIMSTEC member states to study at the Nalanda and other universities. The Prime Minister invited all BIMSTEC leaders to attend the International Buddhist Conclave to be held in India in August 2020 as guests of honor.
अगस्त 2020 में भारत इंटरनेशनल बुद्धिस्ट कॉन्क्लेव की मेजबानी करेगा। मैं सभी बिम्स्टेक सदस्य देशों को इस अवसर पर गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर के रूप में भागीदारी का निमंत्रण देता हूं।
Nepal Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli condemned terrorism in all its forms and urged all member nations to boost trade cooperation.
in defeating terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. We must combat all other transnational organized crimes through an enhanced level of cooperation and coordinated efforts.
The BIMSTEC is a regional grouping comprising India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Bhutan and Nepal. Prime Minister Modi said this region has become a meeting point for India's neighbourhood first and Act East policies. Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And for more on this, we'll go across to Mr. Ashok Sajjanhar, former diplomat. Sir, thank you so much for coming to our studio.
Thank you.
Sir, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's address at the 4th BIMSTEC Summit in Kathmandu, it focused on connectivity and a joint plan to fight drug trafficking and terrorism. What does India expect from the BIMSTEC grouping?
You know, basically, as has been mentioned in your report also, BIMSTEC comprises of 7 countries. 5 of them are from South Asia and 2 of them are from ASEAN. So basically what India is looking at is regional peace, stability, progress and economic development. And I think in that sense, since India is the largest economy in this grouping, India will be able to project its leadership role in this grouping and also get all these countries integrated with its own economy and strengthen the bonds. There are traditional bonds, civilizational linkages between India and Southeast Asia and of course with our neighborhood. So basically have, as the theme of this conference says, a peaceful, prosperous and sustainable Bay of Bengal region.
So, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also invited BIMSTEC member countries to India for the International Buddhist Conclave in 2020. Now, how important is the role of BIMSTEC nations in enhancing trade and prosperity in the region?
Trade investment is, you know, as the Prime Minister himself mentioned, connectivity, I think, really gives an impetus to increase prosperity amongst these countries. So he has focused on trade connectivity, economic and investment connectivity, people-to-people connectivity, transport connectivity. So I think all these things, if they are put together, then they are going to lead to a better standard of living. And in speaking about this, Prime Minister was very particular that we are focusing on the living conditions, on the safety, security and prosperity of the people in the northeastern states of our country. And since they are connected by land border with Myanmar and also with Thailand, and we have a number of transport infrastructure connectivity projects that are going on. We have the trilateral highway, we have the Kaladan multimodal transit transport project. So with all that, we'll be able to provide an impetus to the safety and security in northeastern states. And what you mentioned, Smriti, about participation in the Buddhist conclave, I think that is very important because a large number of countries in this region, Myanmar, Thailand, Sri Lanka, India, Bhutan, these are all basically Buddhist countries. So to tap into the synergies, into the commonalities of these countries and bring them together. And of course, look at the challenges that these countries have, whether it is in terms of security, so collaborating in the area of counter-terrorism, that is very important. He mentioned about military training exercises here. He mentioned about the meeting of the chiefs of army staff in India next year. And of course, we have seen that the national security advisors of all these countries have met twice over the last 1 year or so. So that also takes our counter-terrorism agenda forward.
Mr. Sajjanhar, how can a platform like BIMSTEC help in ensuring the regional development in South Asia?
You know, all the countries, Smriti, at the moment are progressing very fast. Economically, they are developing very rapidly. You look at India, it is, you know, a $2.6 trillion economy, as your report mentioned just now. Thailand also is a very rapidly advancing economy with about $500 billion economy. Bangladesh is $300 billion. Sri Lanka is about $100 billion. So all these economies are advancing, progressing at a very rapid pace. So an integration in terms of focusing on the complementarities and ensuring that the final outcome is a win-win proposition. This will be to the benefit of all these countries, and that is why there have been discussions that have been going on for devising a free trade area agreement. So this will be a real synergy between India's neighborhood first policy and also the Act East policy, which focuses on Southeast Asian countries.
And at a point of time when nothing much is transpiring on SAARC summit, is there any reason to expect too much from BIMSTEC?
No, absolutely. I think BIMSTEC has great potential. It has great possibilities. You know, why is SAARC not advancing is basically because of the policies of Pakistan in terms of the support that it has been providing to terrorism, cross-border terrorism, not only in India but also in Afghanistan, also in Bangladesh. And that's sort of a problem. And, you know, Pakistan has also been putting obstacles in the way of any positive decisions that are taken in the context of SAARC. We saw that at the Kathmandu summit in November 2014. Now, none of those problems would exist as far as BIMSTEC is concerned. There is a synergy between the countries of these, the economies of these countries, and they are willing to cooperate and collaborate. And all of them are looking at the leadership of India, because India is the fastest growing major economy. So they want to take full advantage of India. And also, if I may say, you know, of course, China is not a member of SAARC, but China's presence in other regional and multilateral organization that also tries to put obstacles in the way of any initiative that India takes. So in this format, in this grouping, China's presence is also not there to stymie any of the initiatives or the role that India wants to play.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sajanhar, for joining us and giving us a wider perspective on that development from BIMSTEC. Remember, Prime Minister Narendra Modi made a strong pitch for enhanced regional connectivity at the 4th BIMSTEC summit in Kathmandu. Moving on to some other developments, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley exuded confidence on Thursday that India is all set to surpass Britain next year to become world's 5th largest economy. Jaitley also asserted that India has the potential to be among the top 3 economies of the world in the next 10 to 20 years. He said this while inaugurating the new office of the Competition Commission of India in the national capital.
Finance Minister Arun Jaitley has said that India is expected to surpass Britain next year to become the world's 5th largest economy. Speaking at the inauguration of the office building of the Competition Commission of India, Jaitley also noted that other world economies are growing at a much lesser rate and that India has the potential to be among the top 3 economies of the world.
But the size of our economy is very large. This year in sheer size, we've overtaken France. Next year, we are likely to overtake Britain. And therefore, we'll be the 5th largest.
The finance minister also said that India can already see the ripples of a consumption economy and that the exponential growth being seen in several sectors will lead to a large number of domestic and international players.
Look at 2030 or 2040. You are unquestionably going to be, as the world projections are, amongst the big 3 in size. And already you can see the ripples of a consumption economy building up.
India, currently the 6th largest economy in the world, has a GDP amounting to $2.5 trillion as compared to the 5th largest UK's $2.62 trillion. The country's economy grew at a 7-quarter high of 7.7% in the 3 months ending March 2018, helped by higher government spending and investment. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said on Thursday that demonetization has led to the formalization of the economy, increased tax collection and higher growth. In a Facebook post, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley wrote that larger purpose of demonetization was to move India from a tax non-compliant society to a compliant society. He asserted that the objectives of the demonetization have been achieved and explained when cash is deposited in the banks and anonymity about the owner of the cash disappears. He said in the last 2 years, filing of income tax returns increased by 19% and 25% respectively. In March 2014, the number of income tax returns filed was 3.8 crores. In 2017 and 18, this figure has grown to 6.86 crore. On goods and services tax implemented post-demonetization, Finance Minister Jaitley said that there has been a rise of 72.5% in the number of registered assessors from 66.17 lakh originally to 114.17 lakh today. And Congress President Rahul Gandhi on Thursday upped the ante against the government on the issue of demonetization. Gandhi said note ban was not a mistake but an assault on people of India.
Addressing a press conference on Thursday, Congress chief Rahul Gandhi claimed that demonetization has hurt small businesses and the economy. He also questioned the purpose behind the note ban exercise.
नोटबंदी कोई गलती नहीं थी, नोटबंदी आपके ऊपर आक्रमण था, नोटबंदी आपके पैर पर कुल्हाड़ी मारी गई थी.
Rahul Gandhi claimed that all the objectives of demonetization had failed.
पूरा का पूरा पैसा वापस आ गया. 2% जीडीपी, करोड़ों लोगों का रोजगार और नोटबंदी का कोई भी रिजल्ट नहीं.
According to a RBI report, of the 15.41 lakh crore rupees in 500 and 1000 rupee notes taken out of circulation, notes worth 15.31 lakh crore rupees had returned to the system. 10,720 crore rupees of the junked currency did not return. Amit Shah, Rajya Sabha TV.
On to some more developments. The Supreme Court has reserved its verdict on pleas to reconsider verdict on quota benefits for SC/ST communities in the job promotions. A 5-judge constitution bench headed by Chief Justice Deepak Mishra reserved its verdict after hearing various stakeholders, including the centre, on the matter. The court was hearing a batch of petitions seeking review of the 2006 verdict by the constitution bench of the Apex Court in the M. Nagaraj case, which has put conditions for granting quota benefits for the job promotions to SC/ST employees. A 5-judge constitution bench in its 2006 verdict had said that the states are bound to provide quantifiable data to the backwardness of the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes. The centre and various state governments have also sought reconsideration of this verdict. The Supreme Court has said that members of the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes community cannot claim reservation benefits in the government employment in other states if his or her caste is not notified there. A 5-judge constitution bench headed by headed by Justice Ranjan Gogoi unanimously held that a person belonging to SC/ST community in one state cannot claim the same status in other states where he migrated to get employment or education. Justice Bhanumati, however, disagreed with the majority view on the aspect of applicability of the central reservation policy on SC/ST in the National Capital Territory of Delhi. The bench held the central reservation policy regarding SC/ST would be applicable in Delhi. The verdict came on a batch of petitions that had raised the issue whether a SC/ST is one state can seek reservation in another state where his caste is not notified as SC/ST. HRD Minister Prakash Javadekar launched Atal Ranking of Institutions on Innovation Achievements, named after former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. The initiative will focus on development of innovation ecosystems that are supported through teaching and learning.
In a measure aimed at promoting innovation in educational institutions, the government on Monday launched the Atal Ranking of Institutions on Innovation Achievements at the AICTE Auditorium in New Delhi. HRD Minister Prakash Javadekar launched the system in which all Indian educational institutions can participate in the rankings. ARIIA will rank educational institutions for innovation output based on all major indicators and parameters that are used globally. It will also measure India-specific parameters considering the current scenario and status of higher education in the country.
We can convert our youngest nation, we can convert our population into asset only if we innovate. And therefore, innovation is very important. And therefore, this start of innovation cell leading to innovation clubs, leading to hackathon and leading to student startup is a real ecosystem which we want to build upon, and that is where we want to go ahead.
In his address, Javadekar said the new thinking will help in formulating a system to solve problems and promote innovation in educational institutions. He said the government will create infrastructure in 6 IITs to promote startup innovation.
IIT Madras में बहुत इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर और रिसर्च पार्क और स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम सारी देखने लायक बन गई है। वैसे ही 6 IITs में बना रहे, शुरुआत हो गई है और बाकी जगह भी तैयार करना है, क्योंकि आज जैसे कहा कि 20,000 स्टार्टअप ये पिछले 4 साल में शुरू हो गए, लोगों ने उसमें पैसे भी लगाए और कुछ नए प्रोडक्ट्स आ रहे हैं, यही तो भारत की विशेषता है।
The Atal Ranking of Institutions on Innovation has been named after former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. It aims to set up Innovation Club in all colleges to increase innovation output. Now Vikram Singh's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And to mark 1 month of the passing away of former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, BJP President Amit Shah announced 2 major events across the country. BJP party workers will host a poetry event in 4,000 places on 16th of September, during which audio recordings of Vajpayee's poems will be played. Poets will be invited to these programs as well. The second event will start on 17th of September and will last till 25th of September. A week-long social work activities will be organized at 20,000 places, in which medical camps, vaccination of children and cleanliness drives will be carried out in slums.
16 सितंबर को स्वर्गस्थ अटल जी की प्रथम मासिक पुण्यतिथि होगी। भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने तय किया है कि प्रथम मासिक पुण्यतिथि पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सभी इकाइयां अटल जी को काव्यांजलि देकर इनकी स्मृति को आगे बढ़ाने का प्रयास करेगी।
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu on Thursday stressed on the need to bridge the urban-rural divide and sought reservation and allocation of funds for improving rural infrastructure. He called upon planners, parliamentarians and the press to have a pronounced rural bias in order to ensure an integrated development of the country. He added that the banks must also give priority to rural innovations. Inaugurating the Rural Innovators Startup Conclave at National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj in Hyderabad, the Vice President pointed out that there was massive migration from villages to cities due to education, employment, entertainment, enhanced medical facilities and economic opportunities. He further said that we need to bridge the urban-rural divide by providing all the amenities and facilities in villages on par with urban areas.
There has to be a reservation, that has to be priority, there has to be bias in favor of the rural areas. That reservation is in allocation. To improve the infrastructure to take care of these 5 areas I have said. If you have these allocations and focus and planning is made in favor of the rural areas more, then you will be having an integrated development.
RJD Chief Lalu Prasad has surrendered before a special CBI court in Rajya on Thursday in connection with the fodder scam. The surrender came on expiry of his provisional bail. The Jharkhand High Court had directed him to surrender by 30th of August after being sent to jail in December last year following conviction in the fodder scam cases. Prasad spent a considerable time at the RIMS hospital in Ranchi and at the AIIMS at New Delhi for treatment of various ailments. He was also treated at a Mumbai hospital for 3 weeks and was discharged on 25th of August. He was released on 6 weeks provisional bail on 11th of May by the Jharkhand High Court for medical treatment and was restrained from taking part in any public function, political activity or issuing statements to the media during that period. The High Court had extended the period of Prasad's bail on August 24th, refused to extend it further. And now all the news from the Asian Games. Jinson Johnson claimed gold medal in the men's 1500 meters event. Johnson clocked 3 minutes and 44.72 seconds to claim the top honours ahead of Iran's Amir Mora. Bahrain's Mohammad Tauli finished third to claim the bronze. In 4x400 meters women's relay team event, the Indian team comprising of Hima Das, M.R. Puvamma, Sarita Ben Gaikwad and Vismay Veluva won gold medal. In 4x400 meters men's team relay, Indian team comprising of Mohammad Kunu, Dharun Ayasami, Mohammad Anas and Arokia Rajiv claimed silver. PU Chitra bagged bronze with a timing of 4 minutes and 12.56 seconds in women's 1500 meters final. In discus throw, Seema Punia bagged bronze. She covered a distance of 62.26 meters to claim the medal. In hockey, defending champions India were knocked out of the Asian Games gold medal contention. India lost 6-7 to Malaysia in the penalty shootout. The team will next face Pakistan in the bronze medal playoff. And now a look at the medals tally. India is placed 8th in the medals tally with 59 medals that include 13 gold, 21 silver and 25 bronze, while China is at the top spot with 241 medals including 112 gold. Japan is at the second with 174 medals including 59 golds. South Korea is placed third in the medals tally with 141 medals including 39 golds. And that's all we have for you in this edition of News Tonight. For more news and updates, keep watching Rajya Sabha television.